We have a special guest with us, Susan Cross, who is a lifestyle expert, and you're also an editor for a number of magazines, Susan.
That's right. I'm the lifestyle editor for Shape magazine, as well as contributing lifestyle editor for OK and Star magazines.
Okay.
I'm so thrilled you're here. You're exactly what we needed today, right?
Yeah.
And
we're
for
talking
so
about
many
self-care,
of us.
right?
And I need you to start with defining it. What exactly are we talking about? What is it? Because I need to know what it looks like before I can start in the path to getting it.
Okay. I believe that self-care, when we say self-care, a lot of people immediately just think of the bare bones basics, physical, pap smear, mammogram, dental appointment, and even those, they're not doing for themselves.
I'm not.
It's me.
Yeah, believe me, I've been guilty of it. And I think the thing is, it really should go beyond that. I want people to think of self-care not just as those basics, those are necessities, but beyond that, we also need to include under self-care taking care of ourselves on the outside, like getting our hair done, our nails, getting a facial or massage once in a while, doing the things that make us feel relaxed, taken care of, and important and special, because we are. And aside from that, I also think that self-care should include doing things that you're passionate about. I mean, that's something that we forget who we are. We lose ourselves in our roles of caregivers. And there were things that we wanted to do with our lives, passions that we wanted to pursue, dreams that we wanted to fulfill prior to having children. And I think we need to revisit those and think about, what can I do to include some of those things in my life? I'm a writer, and I know that if I had no outlet for that, I would be very bitter and very frustrated, and I wouldn't be a very good mother if I was bitter and frustrated all the time. So I think that's something people need to get over so that they can take care of not just their basic needs, physicals, mammograms, not just their additional feel-good needs, like getting your hair done, but also taking care of their needs as an individual, unique person to follow and pursue their passions.
All right, so then the question comes in. You and I are thinking, okay, great, we agree, we would like to do all this, but how?
Yeah.
How do we do it?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that, because that is something that is really tricky and difficult for parents to figure out, parents in general, but I would imagine, I've got typical kids, but I can only imagine how much more guilt plays into it when you have a child with special needs.
Right. Well, you're familiar. You're a friend, and you're a big supporter of Act Today. By the way, you've done a lot of volunteer work for us, and you are very aware of what life with my son is like with Wyatt.
Yes.
And so this is not new to you. You have other friends with children with autism.
I do. I think everybody must have at least one friend who has a child with autism.
Right.
And it's just epidemic, so there's no way around that.
So how do we get back to this shift of taking our oxygen first, so to speak?
Right. Well, first of all, you have to get guilt out of the way. Just take that completely out of the way, because you are basically like a car battery, and your family is the car. And if you allow your battery to get completely depleted, that car won't run anymore. And so the very people that you are putting off taking care of yourself because you're afraid to take the time from them, or you feel selfish taking the time from them, those are the people who are going to suffer the most because you didn't take the time for yourself.
Right.
So that being said, I think we should just take that guilt. As soon as you start hearing the little voice in your head that says, oh, you don't have time for that, you shouldn't, tell it to shut up. Because honestly, we have a little time for ourselves. We need to make the time for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing selfish about it. It's the opposite of selfish.
Okay, so get that guilt away.
Get the guilt out of the way. And then the next step is you need to create time in your life to do those things. And it is really hard when you're juggling many, many hats, as all of us are. And you have to pencil yourself in. You have to get your calendar out and look. And just like anything else that we make time for, we need to be on that list. So if you look in your day planner and you find there's just not a free moment this week, so don't go closing that day planner and say, oh, well, I don't have any free time. What you need to do is keep flipping. If it's 3 months from now, so be it.
Yeah.
But you need to keep looking forward until you find some open space, and then don't pencil yourself in. Get a pen.
Ink yourself in.
Ink yourself in. Exactly.
That's key.
Yeah.
That's so key.
It's very key.
Because we would find time, as busy as we are, we would find time to do something for our child.
Of course.
So why don't we find time for ourselves?
We would say, well, my child hasn't had that trip to the beach or that play date, or, it's been 2 years since we've gone to Disneyland, but we don't say, hey, I haven't had a massage in 4 years, or I haven't gotten my nails done, case in point, in 3 months, or done them myself.
Or the mammogram, or the dental appointment, or all the other things that we need to do.
Ink yourself in. Ink yourself in. But that brings us to something that I want to talk to you about. There are going to be moms out there listening today, and dads, who say, who looks after the child while I'm doing this?
Good point.
Yes, very good point. I think that more so for moms of special needs kids, but for all parents in general, it's really important to have a great support system in place. You have to have a village. It does take a village. So if you can buddy up with someone and offer to trade childcare with them, if you have any kind of babysitter or network of babysitters, anyone who could recommend somebody, have an arsenal. Don't just have one go-to person, because what if they can't help you that day or they get sick? Have maybe 3 or 4 phone numbers on hand of people that you trust, that you can call, that can give you that break that you need.
So when people say, what can I do for you?
Tell them, don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Absolutely. I think that we want to appear as if we can do it all, that we're Wonder Women and that we're super moms. And, we are Wonder Women and we are super moms, but that does not mean that we do it all ourselves all the time. It just isn't possible.
I want to add to that by saying something that I think applies to you and me that's very special. Susan has 3 children, and they're wonderful kids. Almost brings tears to my eyes. And Susan and Kevin ask us to do things socially, like come over for dinner. They always include Wyatt, and they always say, Rory will help with Wyatt, Aiden will help with Wyatt, and sure enough, we can come to your house. We can have a nice, relaxed dinner, watch a movie, and Rory totally takes care of Wyatt.
Rory loves Wyatt.
Yeah.
He loves
So
my children genuinely love Wyatt.
Find families that support you in a way that you can maybe take your child with you and have them play with the other children, so you get grown-up time, right?
I believe it's good for Wyatt, too, to be...
Oh, it's wonderful.
Honestly,
are you kidding?
He
loves
very
it.
much forward to it, and my kids look forward to it as well, and it gives everybody a break, and the kids have fun. So, yes, definitely.
We need more people like you on the podcast. Truly.
Well, honestly, I have a message for moms that don't have a child with autism.
And
this is a community. Moms should support each other. Dads should support each other. We all need to be aware of what we're all going through and lend a hand where you can.
Yeah.
You really, it's not right to leave it to those who need the help to figure out helping each other and themselves solely. Yeah. We need to take a look at that, really. I mean, people, and honestly, there have been studies that prove this, so I have scientific evidence of this, that helping others really boosts your own happiness. It really does. It makes you feel good about yourself, and it builds confidence in yourself. I hope that by encouraging my children to be helpful and considerate and conscientious of what others are going through, that will build their character. I think it's important for families who don't have autistic kids to get involved any way they can.
Well, and clearly it has built your children's character.
Yeah.
Clearly it has.
Now, you talk about having an accountability buddy.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and once in a while I send you a little nag text. It's gentle.
Yeah.
But you know what? Have a friend that you trust who's, going to be kind when they tell you, hey, did you schedule that mammogram, by the way? Aren't you overdue? Find somebody that you can tell what it is that you really would love to do, wish you could be doing right now. Tell them that. And when you schedule something in ink, make sure somebody knows that you have, and ask them to remind you. And that way, it's true that when you tell somebody else that you're going to do something, you're far more likely to follow through and actually do it.
That's true. And the other thing is, when we talk about our spouses, when you let your spouse know, I've scheduled this time to go get my hair blown dry, or I've scheduled this time to go get a manicure, or I haven't had a massage in years, and I'd really like to do that for myself. And then maybe you could trade off with your husband, right? Say, if you can watch Wyatt today, then I'll let you go to that basketball game, the Lakers game, or watch the Lakers game this weekend.
Exactly. Yes, definitely.
So
I think your partner is going to be your best resource for getting a break.
Right.
Because they know what you're going through because they're living it too. And I think that a lot of moms that I know are reluctant to ask their husbands. They say, oh, well, I'll have to see if he can babysit. I'm thinking, did I miss something? Is that not his child too? Because it's not babysitting if it's your own child.
Right.
And I think most husbands want to partner their wives. They want to be that support.
They do.
We need to let them do it.
Yeah,
and they need to let us do it. We can do this for each other, and then that way we are not burned out. And I think when you take the time to take care of yourself, you come home and you see that person who's allowed you to have that time to take care of yourself, you feel very much more loving towards them.
Oh, sure.
You feel great
Without a
about
doubt.
yourself. You feel much more relaxed, rejuvenated, refreshed. And then you look at that person and you think, God, I love you. You just made my day, and now I'm gonna make your day.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that's good. If that's not incentive enough to get,
That's good reinforcement. That's good ABA.
Positive reinforcement. Exactly.
Yes.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
That's wonderful.
Well, Susan, these are great pointers, and you've got all kinds of tips and tricks up your sleeve. So we want to have you back to talk about some other issues that moms and dads of special needs kids face.
I would love to do that. I really would.
All right.
We'd
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much
it
for
'cause we
joining
need the
us.
roadmap.
Thank you.